What? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Grown Folk Business. You know, bringing you open, honest, raw conversation. This time we back live from La Catora. You know what I mean?
Yo,
I got it right.
That was nice. That was
Thanks.
nice.
At least it's gonna be proud of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ladies gonna like that too. You can roll your tongue.
Yeah, I'm single.
It's important. You're single.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
important.
Way to throw me out there.
I
son.
want,
I
yo,
appreciate
man,
that.
I'm here for you. What's this? What we
It's
do?
your boy Striz.
I'm snub. Yo,
And
we got special guest,
Special guest. Go ahead,
Councilman.
Yeah, my name is Westburn Majors, a member of Harrisburg City Council.
Man.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you,
Glad
man.
that- Yo,
I think this is the first.
monumentous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first for me. I know my little brother was on here before. Y'all talked to.
He was on here
former
twice.
Member, yeah,
Have you
Cornelius.
made-
Y'all had him on here.
We'll have him on again.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, so good to be in the building with you guys.
My
Yeah,
man.
man. Let's
Appreciate
get
that.
it. How's it going? What's good?
Man, things are going well. You know, gearing up for this campaign. There's an election on May 21st in the city, as well as all local primaries. So it's important that we get, you know, the vote out for folks not just in the city, but all over the place for these local elections. They impact everybody's life a lot more than the national stuff. What happens there is what happens, but you know, the impact that
Yes.
you know, things that happen at the city level really
That's
affect
It's
you
what
each and
every day
Right.
you wake
Each
up
and
to.
every day.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is your second time doing this. Reelect.
Yeah, this is my re-election. So back in 2015, I was on the ballot. Myself, Cornelius, Destiny, you know, all, I guess we call ourselves millennials.
Right.
Yeah.
All got elected to city council.
Right. Yeah. That was
Got
dope.
up there and
yeah.
started shaking,
So
moving
yeah,
tables.
looking to move Harrisburg in the right direction. Get some, you know, youth and, you know, especially some folks that are from here on council. So
sure.
that was good. So, you know, these last 4 years went by pretty quickly.
Yo,
They did.
Yeah,
It felt like
yeah,
you just
yeah,
like-
yeah,
Right.
It feels early, but yeah. So you know, so I signed up to do this again. So you know, I'm just trying to get the word out there about the election on May 21st.
May
Want folks
21st.
to make sure they exercise their right to vote, not just register to vote, but actually make it to the election booth and make your voice heard.
Right.
Now, is it too late to register for these?
Yes, so it's too
Okay.
late to register for this election.
Yeah.
You can still register to vote. You'll be able to vote in the November general election. But yeah, as of right now, it's too late. If you're
Okay.
not registered, not a registered Democrat or Republican, you can't participate in
Gotcha.
the party primaries.
All right, so y'all hear that. Next time, get out there earlier.
Get out there early, right? And so the campaign, how's it? How's that? The campaign life is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Campaign life, it's not too crazy. It's good. You know, you really get to, you know, talk to folks at the ground level. So it's knocking on doors, you know, listening to folks and residents' concerns about things that are going on in Harrisburg, and really getting to know folks. I think Harrisburg has we have a very transient population, so we have a lot of folks that move in and out of the city.
Yeah.
Right.
So every 4 years we have the elections, but you know, as y'all know, you know, I know both of y'all for a minute. You know, still always active in the community, so I see different residents and talk to them just about things that are going on in Harrisburg. But this is just an opportunity to reach out and talk to more folks in the city and really hear what their concerns are and how we can try to address them at City Council.
Yeah, my mom's always checking out y'all meetings and stuff, and giving her opinion and stuff. So I'm pretty sure you might have ran into her once or twice.
Absolutely.
Probably because
She's opinionated.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, a lot of folks are opinionated, but it's good to have opinions, you know, especially with things that are happening in your neighborhood. You know, I want people to have opinions so that we can talk to them about what we actually can do as a member of council, how we can work towards solutions that will help them out in the long run.
So like, are all the city council meetings, are they like open to the public?
Yeah, every city council meeting is open to the public. Our city council meetings are on. So there are two types of meetings. We have a legislative session, which is where a voting meeting essentially. Those are on the second and fourth Tuesdays of every month, and then on the first and third Tuesdays of every month we do. Okay, got a little feedback.
What's going on, Alf? Are we good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay.
Test. Okay. All right. Yeah, and then on the first and third Tuesday of every month we do a work session. So those are meetings where things get on the calendar. So maybe an ordinance or a new law that we're looking to talk about. Then we have a committee meeting essentially where we get to try to flesh that out a little bit more. You know, really start asking some of the questions that you you might hear from residents, or you just might have about a piece of legislation that we're looking to implement in the city. So those are the two different types of meetings that we do have.
Okay.
Right on.
I mean, we got some more people that just walked in, so
What's up,
educating
y'all?
folks. What's going on
How's
with
it
y'all?
going?
How y'all
Absolutely.
doing? Hi. Say hi back.
While we try to get that feedback, because now that's all I hear now.
Right.
I hate that my stuff do that like a
Right.
owl or something. Like,
You okay?
and it's all like I'm gonna be alright, but
Yes.
Yeah.
you're making it hard for me
Just keep
to be
talking.
me.
Hey, talk to him, Snub. Tell him
I
about himself.
gotta tell him about himself, bro.
Ain't about
Like,
shit, I mean.
what's up with this?
Yo.
It's all good, though,
All right.
bro.
Let's switch it up a little bit. Talk about some news, some stuff going on in the world. In game,
The Avengers.
Avengers. I don't know what
Y'all
the hell
seen
it
that?
is.
I haven't seen it. I haven't either. I won't. No, I won't do that to nobody. I would never do that to nobody.
You seen it?
Yeah. I'm a big comic book fan, so
Oh,
I've been following comic books since I was a kid. So took a couple hours out of the campaign on a Friday night.
Make sure I get this one in.
To slide by and go check that out. No spoilers, but it was a really good
Really
movie.
dope?
Really dope.
Really dope? Alright.
It tied up a lot of things in this last 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which was dope to me. It made folks laugh. Some folks cried. I mean, you get a range of emotions.
Right.
But it was good. It was good. Some
Cry
all
over a comic book?
People, but it's serious.
Yeah,
to
it's
some
serious.
people.
It's serious to some people,
I mean,
man.
if a billion in 5
Yeah.
days.
Huh?
$1 billion in 5 days. So
Yeah.
That's how serious.
That's
it
how
is.
serious it was.
Yeah, it's real. And the director had this hashtag going called hashtag Don't Spoil the End Game, because it's just been 10 years in the making, 22 movies. I mean, it's a lot of movies.
Speaking
like,
of-
yeah.
Speaking
So.
of-
Did you
Snub got
Did
something
you
to say.
check out? Happen to see Shady's page at all?
No sir.
Well, he definitely
He
spoiled
spoiled
the movie.
He
for
spoiled the whole
everybody.
movie. I don't watch it though, but
Listen,
Yeah.
they were frying him on Twitter,
Oh,
dog.
I can believe it.
He did something that was just so egregious,
Ooh,
and you
yeah.
knew better, bro. Like,
Nah, I didn't catch that. I'm glad I didn't catch that.
yo,
'cause-
it was
no
like
spoilers.
ruined it for
Ooh.
so many people.
Ooh,
Like
yeah.
people was on there like, I hope you get traded, man.
Oh
like,
wow.
They was that
Wow.
mad because it was
Wow.
that serious to him, and they just
Yeah.
really, he did something that
I mean,
bad.
Cuz might like that if he go to Philly though.
I would, hey man, I welcome that. Well, we don't need him no more though. I mean, sad to say.
Huh?
We got running backs now. We got the boy from Penn State in the draft, Miles Sanders.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we in sports. We talking about sports and shit.
Well, yeah.
That's where we was
okay.
going with it, anyways.
Oh well, football. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we want to talk about. I don't know what else was in
The-
the draft that was. I don't know. I ain't watch.
I watched. I guess the whoever the Giants got at quarterback. This
Oh, the
dude
big
that-
goofy bull.
Yeah, that said
I seen that.
he's,
That was
he's
funny.
good
Guy
at.
from Duke.
Yeah, he's good at losing or something like that.
Oh.
So that's what I got from it.
What the
They
fuck?
said he could take. He's like Eli. Like I mean, Eli got 2 Super Bowls, but it was like he can take the pressure, the criticism of New York, but he wasn't really that good of a quarterback for real. Like he was.
So you
average.
picked him first?
Picked him 6th, but it
I
was.
mean,
like,
that was their
Yeah,
first
first
that was
round.
their
first round,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they had the black boy from Ohio State that was supposed to be going to them. That they had Haskins from Ohio State.
Right.
He was the guy that they had slated to go there, and it was like, why wouldn't you pick him? Like he's still on the board. He ended up going to the Redskins like 15th. But
Right.
it was like Haskins was like, yo, y'all gonna pay for that, like
Yeah, that was
for
terrible.
skipping over on me, like all these teams.
That
that-
was all bad.
yeah.
He's
So,
definitely.
It
Not
was
winning
really
2
to the
Super
Giants
Bowls.
because he was from Jersey. Haskins.
Yeah, he's
from,
not winning. The Bulls not winning 2 Super Bowls. He's not Eli.
right.
Anyways,
so, yeah.
yo, switch it up. Boring playoffs without LeBron.
No.
No,
What?
no. I don't think so. I think the West is tough. I said you don't need LeBron in the playoffs for it to be exciting.
Nope.
Yeah, the boy Harden is doing his thing. I mean,
That's
it's
my dog.
been exciting. I catch games when I can, but it's been pretty good.
Forget about these.
far.
Did you happen
Yeah.
to catch the Rockets Warriors earlier?
I did
before
not.
this?
I did not.
It was a good game. It was a good
Yeah.
game. They the Warriors pulled it out. Though,
Okay, yeah,
against
I was out and about doing an event earlier today, Little Kings Who Cook.
Oh,
So
okay.
so
I
I
heard- I
threw
seen
down
that
a
on
little bit
Facebook.
today.
Yeah, what they had out there? What they had?
No, it's a little bit of everything. They raised money for scholarships.
True.
So they had a bunch of men. I think they had about 100 men this this year.
Nice.
Came out and everybody did a little dish and
Yeah.
donate some. You donated your time and your
Right.
gifts.
Nice.
I made a little roast jerk.
Okay.
Turkey.
Oh, you were
So
participating.
I
You was being
was
modest, like you ain't had nothing to do with it at first.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I had an
yeah,
event.
yeah.
Nah, he threw that shit
Yeah.
straight out
Showed
there.
up.
You know,
Yeah,
those
he was
dirt-
cooking.
I threw down a little bit today. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was out there earlier. Yeah, so
I
it
was
was
listening
a
wrong.
beautiful event. It was a beautiful event.
That's dope.
I got good feedback. You cook at the crib, and right now my wife loves my cooking.
Okay.
So when
That's
my family
always
likes
good.
it, so
Why
it's
not?
good. But I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, let's get some other people that might, be a little bit more objective and let me know how it was. And got good feedback. So
And
I
that's
think
dope.
I'm gonna keep,
Random people
keep doing it. Yeah,
Participating
absolutely,
every year.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, it was good. It's a good
I'm
time.
gonna have to show up and try some of this stuff,
Oh, yeah.
big dog. Yeah.
Hell
No
yeah.
dirt.
Yeah. What you talking about?
Yeah.
A little bit of this here, some of that.
Oh yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, we moving along. I was
That's
just throwing
fine.
questions in there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask this one. Tell us one thing about soccer, because I know you play soccer.
Yeah.
You went to McDevitt.
Yeah.
Tell us one thing about soccer that would intrigue someone to play.
So it's the world's most popular sport. Number one, it's probably one of the more high-paying sports on the planet.
For real?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of
see
the
the
contracts
best
these guys,
dudes?
the best guys, are getting bigger contracts than LeBron and anybody in the NFL. Too.
I mean, that's sold
they're-
for most people.
I mean, huh?
That's sold the biggest money. I mean, the most money. Like,
Yeah, no, like I said, you got the world's most popular sport, so
Right.
you got folks all over the world watching it. It's the easiest, it's the most accessible game. All you need is a ball and two things to call goals. So, a lot of folks, my family on my mom's side is from Panama, so we went down there last
okay.
year. You just see kids in the street. All you need is a ball. I mean,
And they
Shout
do
out,
that all
shout
day.
out, shout
do
out,
it
Miss
all day.
Majors.
So yeah, I mean, for me, it's just accessible. A lot of other sports have a cost to get in. Football, you need a bunch of equipment. Basketball, if you're trying to travel, you got AAU. You got AAU sort of with soccer too, or other sports that folks play. So for me, it's just the most accessible. All you need is 2 feet and a ball and a couple people, and you have a good time. And those guys get they get paid. I mean,
Get
you see
paid, and
Ronaldo. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a good workout. I mean, I miss it. So when I was in high school and a little bit of college, I played, and it's probably about 60, 70, 80 pounds lighter because I was out there running all the time. But but it's great cardio. I built great friendships through soccer, just like you do in any sport.
Sure.
I love it. I still get up and watch soccer and.
All right, keep it
play
real.
every once in a while.
Keep it real. Keep it quiet. You said you was talking about Cornelius earlier. I know his family plays soccer.
Uh-huh.
You or him, who's better?
Oh, see, I never see. Oh, we're not gonna do that. I never. So I'll keep it real. I never got to see him play. I know his little brother is nice.
His little brother
His little
is
brother
nice.
is really nice. His really brother's really good. So I never got a chance to see him play, but. When my brother's back in the city, we'll definitely
Link that
get
up.
involved.
Have a little shootout. Have
Yeah.
a shootout. That'd be
Oh
dope.
yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd
Yeah.
be real dope.
Yeah, you got something snub.
No, I mean that was dope about the whole soccer thing. Are we going into rapid questions or
Yeah, you go ahead. You
I
got
just
something.
bro, yeah, cause I seen you got something else here though. So,
20 Democratic candidates.
yeah.
20 Democrat. Damn.
Right.
20 of them.
Mhm.
Democrat candidates for 2020. Who do you think is the best fit?
Whew. For me, it's too early. I
Okay.
really want to hear from these different candidates and see what their platforms are.
You don't want
Out
to
the
say
gate.
Biden off rip.
Nah, out the gate, you have some really
can't
talented
do that.
folks. You have you got Joe Biden, you have Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Peter Buttigieg. There's a lot of different candidates that are out there. Those are just a few. I mean, then of course you have Bernie Sanders, but I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, no, you have a lot of different candidates out there. So at this point, it's really just about hearing what their ideas are, seeing how progressive they are going to be, how moderate. Because right now it's just about building a coalition that can go against the current president in 2020. So the one thing that I don't like is, unfortunately, a lot of times with these long primaries, Democrats are going at each other real hard. You just give more fodder to the other side. So, you know, for me it's too
Is that
early.
crazy?
Yeah, pretty much, right.
Right.
That's
for
really
me,
crazy.
for me, it's just too early to you know lock into one candidate. I'm you know continue to see how these things go, and you know hopefully here in a few months I'll try to flesh out who I think I'm going to support, and then go from there.
Yeah, 20's a lot, bro.
Yeah, so
Like,
we a long time away. I mean, so this is April, so yeah, we about 19 months away from an election. So yeah, we still got a lot of time.
Wow.
between
Trickle
now and
them
then.
down
Yeah,
some.
yeah. So they'll start fleshing themselves out.
All right,
real soon.
all right, no doubt. All right, brother, man. It's my rapid question session.
All right.
Yeah, I got a few for you. It's not that
Okay.
crazy.
All
but
right.
Just first thing that come to mind. When I'm about to ask you. All right. So, what's the first thing on your agenda when you get reelected?
Ooh.
I'm gonna
So,
say
all
win,
right,
'cause
yeah,
I'm a win.
okay,
I'm a win
all right,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the first thing is continuing to make sure the city is financially solvent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if a lot of folks remember back in 2010, after we did what Mayor Reed was here, the city was in really fiscal distress. I mean, little old Harrisburg,
With that
49,
art.
50,000 people, we were almost $1 billion in debt.
Ow.
And that's a whole story. There's forensic audits and a whole bunch of different things that were done. But long story short is we've had to dig ourselves out of an extreme hole. I mean, he was the mayor for 28 years, and so a lot of things weren't getting done. So if I'm able to be reelected to city council, we'll continue that financial recovery that we're in. We have some options right now. We got 5 years to continue to get additional taxes from folks that come into the city through a local services tax, which helps. We got about a $12 million structural deficit, and that helps fill that hole. So if we lose this authority, the city's out $12 million a year. So we got this. So right now we're trying to, be financially solvent. So we need continued economic development. We want to support local businesses that are currently in the city. Help them grow and expand so that they can hire more folks and we grow our tax base. We need more businesses to come, into the city, so that we can, have more of our citizens and bigger workforce in the city. Right. But one of the things that it's not really in city council's control, but I think all of us want to see improve is our school district.
Yes. It's on here. We don't talk about it.
We can talk about it. Like you said, it's not really directly.
Right. Yeah, but you can't
in your
talk. You
hands.
can't talk about anything in the city of
Without
Harrisburg
that.
without the school district.
Right.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
for sure. Biggest pet peeve.
My biggest
Off
pet
top.
peeve off top. It's probably a little petty, but it's hearing other people chew.
So you couldn't watch
I'm
the
sorry.
lady. You
I'm
couldn't.
sorry.
You couldn't watch
I'm
that
sorry.
lady. That what
That's
is
what
that
it-
called? ASMR or something.
Yeah,
like that?
you
couldn't
I can't
do that,
do it.
right?
I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
with the lady
Yeah.
with the lobster.
When people eat, do your thing. But that's one of those little things that
Keep that to
personally,
yourself.
yeah,
Keep your mouth
So
closed.
you don't.
yeah, keep your mouth closed. If you keep your mouth closed, that's just
All that
yeah.
smacking and stuff.
Yeah.
Woo, that is
Yeah.
gross though.
Yeah.
That is. All right. In the event of a zombie apocalypse, would you be one of those people that would survive, or would you just be one die instantly?
Oh no, life's too important. So I'm
Yeah.
by
All
any
right,
means,
I'm learning.
by any means,
Zombie,
we're gonna try to
bro.
figure it
By
out.
any means.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Yeah,
What's
yeah.
his name? I can't remember
Oh
his
man,
name.
his name is slipping my mind now. So I can see his face though. I can see his face.
Especially Morgan.
Yeah. Morgan, yeah.
You get
yeah.
that stick out there.
Yeah,
Start,
yeah. You gotta learn
Eat
to
your brain.
survive. Learn to survive. Yeah.
All right, my last
Survive and
question
adapt.
for you, bro. Do you eat the gristle?
No, with the gristle? No, I don't.
And my man.
I don't.
Anybody
I
eat the
don't
gristle
chicken.
in here? Yeah, you eat the gristle. I know I don't eat the gristle. I don't look like
Oh,
you eat
bad.
the
Y'all
gristle.
are
Look like he's a Christian.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Y'all
you
look
gotta
funny.
get a close up of Alfred soon. Yeah.
I eat gristle.
Zoom in on that
I
one.
eat gristle.
Zoom in on that one.
Hey, you ain't nobody until you eat the gristle.
Look at that.
Yeah. My God.
I mean, I eat too.
It's acquired taste.
Hold on. You gotta drop the
Bristle
DJ
and
joint.
butt.
Drop that down.
Drop that joint.
I gotta keep the voice.
All right.
We ain't gonna talk about it.
Yo.
That's it for my big questions.
All right.
Never disappoint me, yo.
Never disappoints, bro.
Oh man.
Yo, a couple more rapid questions.
All right, go ahead, bro.
First sentence of planning. I'm gonna throw out a word. You give out how you feel. First thing though.
Okay.
Quick. Harrisburg.
Hold on. Say that. All right. Let me
First,
step
like
back.
the first thing you have, like the way you feel about it, or the first sentence
First
of
thing that
planning.
comes to
Okay.
First thing that comes to
First thing that
mind.
comes to mind, just in
Yeah.
terms of
What-
anything you say.
yeah.
All right. I'm ready now.
Harrisburg.
Harrisburg's home.
Vision Zero Action Plan.
Want to see the full study. I think it's a good idea, but we need to. I want to see what the full study has to say.
Marijuana legalization.
Marijuana legalization, that's a state issue. So if we can get, the legislature involved and find a plan that works for them, hey, let's go. Let's figure out what works.
One quick question, because you said it's about the money. Would that money help Harrisburg?
Which money?
If the state was to legalize marijuana, like they're already talking about putting dispensaries in Harrisburg. So
Right. So we have to see I got to see what a final piece of legislation will look like. I mean,
Right.
how much money how much are they going to tax it at? Where are they going to direct the money? And, is it going to be spread evenly or just where people have dispensaries? There's, when we talk legalization, everybody's just thinking about the end. Okay, well, I can be able to smoke or recreationally or whatever, but there's a lot of pieces to it that we need to talk about before we get there. I know so my former job, I did a lot of advocacy work and did a lot of research. And you look at what like Colorado did. So
Right.
they directed a lot of their money towards education. So the state would receive money. The state would receive the money, and then it would get distributed out. It would just depend on how much money they're estimating to receive, right? And then how they plan to distribute it. Are they just going to distribute it, to big cities, small cities, or are they going to distribute it evenly across the Commonwealth? When folks see legalization, they just like I said, they're just thinking about, okay, I can smoke without no issues, but we got to figure out where's the money going. Like I said, where a dispensary is going to be located. What are setbacks from schools, and there's a lot of things to flesh out before I can get behind a legalization, because I just want to see where the money's going to go. How high are they going to tax it at?
Well, they need to hurry up.
Yeah. So I know
Need to hurry up.
I know. I know
Facts.
currently, the lieutenant governor's doing a tour around the Commonwealth to talk about legalization, and I just haven't seen what a final plan will look like. Once I get to see something tangible, then I'll have, I can have a better, response.
He should just go around and just get high in a session with a lot of people and just see how that feels for him, and then just be like, "Yo, this shit cool, bro."
You forget where we are. We're in Pennsylvania. We got So we have we have an older population. We have a lot of folks that are real, moderate to conservative, and
Commonwealth,
right?
right?
Yeah.
All right, couple more.
Still three.
Sorry, that was a long rapid fire. but-
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, no,
I kind of kept it going though.
Yeah.
Road conditions.
Road conditions in the city need to be improved. We have a plan. Like I said, it's just going to take time, but we authorized a study a few years ago that looked at all the road conditions in the city. So they had folks out there actually trying to basically figure out, all right, what roads need to be fixed.
3rd Street.
Okay. Well, 3rd Street's in. All right. It's about what streets need to be fixed and
Immediately.
when. Immediately.
Expeditiously.
So you're trying to. So it's like triaging it, right? So it was a triage of the city streets. We said, okay, let's look at all the city streets in Harrisburg. Which ones need improvement immediately? Which ones can we wait a little bit on? Which ones, can we try to plan for in the future? Well, 3rd Street, as you know, has been under construction for a while.
It is. Yeah.
Last year we ran into the city ran into some difficulties just because of how much rain we got.
Right.
You can't lay asphalt, you can't, pour concrete when it's raining. So they got behind schedule. But I talked to the city engineer. I'm on the chair of Public Works, and he has assured me that the contractors can get this done this year. So there's going to be there's still going to be, there's always going to be growing pains, but they're on track to finish it this year.
Okay. All right, I'm done with the rapid questions. I appreciate that though, man.
Oh yeah,
got a lot of information out of it.
Oh no, listen, man. I mean, not just 3rd Street, but we want to get 19th Street done. 17th Street.
17th Street.
Dairy Street.
Right.
Dairy to Brooklyn. There's a lot of. We need a lot of infrastructure in the city of Harrisburg. Infrastructure improvements, road improvements in the city. Like I said, those things just take time and money. And
just in a hole that somebody else dug us in.
Right. Yeah, so we're digging ourselves out. So we just can't, you know, you say we've been, you know, we had, you know, 28 years of one thing, and now we're slowly moving out of that.
That ain't.
So
Man, he was
it
in
just
20.
takes, it just takes a while. It just takes a while. And
We might not
it's
see
not
nothing.
it's not an answer that people like to hear, but
Right.
it's the truth. So
Yeah.
you know, I don't want to promise. I don't like giving people false expectations of what we can and can't do. It's just going to take a
That's
little
why
time.
we here.
That's
Keep
the
it real.
worst thing to do.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
like, just to give them full. No,
Oh, yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And they come
Hey,
looking at you.
I got a question for him.
All right.
Oh,
How long have you been on city council?
So I've been on council for, this is my 4th year on city council. Yep. Yeah, I got elected in 2015. Took the oath of office in January 2016. So yeah, this is my coming in my, you know, finishing up the 4th year.
So how many terms is that?
So 1 term so far.
One term
Yep,
so
yep.
far. So you
My
coming up?
first
This
term.
is re-election.
Yeah, this is
your first-
re-election for my first re-election
Okay.
back to city council.
So you're running for re-election?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
There it is. There it is.
there it is. Alf.
Alf, you weren't paying attention, bro.
He don't be
Oh, it's all
listening.
good.
But that's all right.
I
He
know
was
you
still
said
mixing
that.
his mixtapes in his
Yeah,
head.
yeah, I
while
was
Wes
stuck.
was talking.
I know you
And
said
that's
that in the
the problem
beginning.
with black
Cool,
people.
Alf,
That's all good.
I know you said that in the beginning, and then
Yeah.
Sure did say that in the beginning. All of that.
I just wanted to reiterate.
All right,
Okay,
no
all right,
problem.
all right, all right, there you
Oh
go.
yeah.
Don't try to disguise it as a question next time.
Okay.
Ask the man.
All right. Just a
It's all
reiteration.
good. Just ask him to say it
repeat
again,
please.
please.
Could you repeat
People need
that,
to know.
please?
Oh yeah. No
Thanks,
problem.
Alf.
Thank you, Alf. My man.
Yo,
Always here to help, man. All right.
That's my
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
yo.
no.
You know it, Alf.
Yeah,
You
I
know
got
you helping.
I got you.
Yo, we right back to it though. Wes, I guess you know we in the election. We said we was gonna talk about the school district.
Yeah.
What that? Excuse
Yo,
me.
man,
what's-
another hole you going to dig yourself
What's
out.
going on? Like,
So, I mean, the news, as everyone's been saying, you know, there's been a lot of, I guess there's some turmoil, some things going on at the school district at the administrative level. So, right now, I believe that the state is looking to do an audit of the books of the city of Harrisburg.
Yeah.
Yes, they should.
It appeared that there was some reluctance on the city's behalf. I mean, excuse me, not the city, but the school district's behalf
district.
Right.
to turn over certain information.
I mean, I got something.
I mean, it was, I believe it was. I believe they finally resolved it and were able to turn things over. I think
Yeah.
I saw an article on Saturday that everything was being turned over. But you know, I think it's a perception versus reality issue right now. You know, as you know, folks know, like I'm from the city, went to Harrisburg. You know, for not undergrad. I'm thinking college, but grade school, grade
Right,
school,
right,
right?
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
in grade school,
Yeah, Ben
in grade
Franklin,
school,
all
Ben
that,
Franklin,
yeah.
you know, math, science, and then for high school, I ended up going to McDevitt. But I got 3 younger brothers, all Harrisburg High
Yes.
graduates, all got great educations, all are doing well.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think, you know, can you still get a great education in the city of Harrisburg? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Do we have impediments that are in the way? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But it's going to take some stick-to-itiveness and, you know, hard work and dedication from our teachers, our administrators, our parents, and our students for them to continue to achieve what they can. You know, right now the graduation rates and a lot of the things, you know, aren't great, but we need to continue to improve those so that Harrisburg can grow.
Yeah.
Harrisburg cannot grow
When
if
has
we
it-
have a school district that is in its current situation. But with hard work and dedication, we can improve our school district. There might need to be some changes. I know there's a school board election this year as well. I think the way the school board has been interacting recently does not instill a sense of hope into the parents. You know,
Right.
if the school board cannot, you know, agree to disagree on certain things and conduct themselves a certain way, I think it gives parents a perception that,
Right.
okay, if the school board can't do this, what's going on in those classrooms? And if they're in correspondence with their kids' teachers and administrators, and they're not having the best kind of relationship, then, you know, it just continues to do that. So I think we get some, you know, we'll have a school board election. We'll see how that works out.
That's
and
a
we just
good point.
have people work together so that it can improve it.
Yeah, like it's like a lot of times I see like the parents and administration it's not together.
Right,
It's
yeah,
always
the
something
parents, the
totally different.
administration,
Like
right.
the parents and administration
you know, the
is
teachers. So
right.
So I really think, you know, there needs to be, you know, not necessarily a come to Jesus moment, but folks need to really get together and talk about what the priority is, and the priority are those kids. You know, that's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
You know, how can we make sure that these kids get the best education possible? And that needs to be, if that's not the focus of folks on the school board or in our in our district, then you may need to look somewhere else to. But that's what our focus needs to be.
Right.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I don't know. I went to McDavid.
Yeah,
I did the same thing you did.
Yeah, but I went to the high and I graduated. I know niggas that you
Right.
just graduate with people.
Yeah,
Like,
Right.
no, like I
Right.
said, no,
no
there's-
difference.
But see, and that's the thing though. Like I don't have a negative perception of Harrisburg because I know I know teachers there when I was there. I mean, I know my brothers and the education that they received. I know these young guys that are coming out, and I see the work that folks like Coach Cal are doing.
Right.
And getting these kids,
these students,
getting these kids to not just be athletes, but they're students. Athletes. And then we can take their successes. I see the work that's being done by Dr. Champon down at Sci Tech. I mean, those kids are doing great.
Right.
But how can we replicate that and grow that? So it's just not. We just don't have small little silos of excellence where we have math, science, or Sci Tech. How can we take pieces that work at those locations and instill them in every other school, Downey and Ben Franklin, everywhere. I mean, that's what we need to do. We need to continue to grow it so that all of the kids in the city of Harrisburg can get a quality education.
Right.
That start at home.
Yeah, it starts at home. It does start at home.
It starts at home.
It starts at home.
It
starts at home.
Yeah.
But it starts at home. It's supplemented at school, and then when you go back home, if it's not reinforced, folks can get a little bit wary. I know, I talk about my personal, my upbringing. My mom and father had a certain level of what was acceptable and what wasn't. And we knew what wasn't, and and it was difficult sometimes. You got a low grade. They said, okay, well, you're gonna sit here while your brothers are at football practice and do your homework, or your friends are at football practice and do your homework. You miss a game. I mean,
I had to be hard.
Right.
You
You
had
miss
to-
a game. So
Yeah.
you realize, like, okay, you're not just letting your parent down, but now you're letting your teammates down, or you're letting your friends down because you can't do X, Y, and Z because you got this grade. So I think that it starts at home.
Setting the standard.
Set the standard. Your teachers continue to push you, and then it gets reinforced back at home. That's the way that I look at it. With
I
education.
totally agree with you on that note. Like, that's crazy. I just hope that it starts to make a turnaround real soon.
Yeah.
But I know it's not. It's never. It doesn't happen like
no,
that.
but it's again, we're looking to turn we're looking to turn a large boat, right? You don't turn a large ship, in one foul swoop, and or you're gonna get caught with the current, and then you're gonna go back and forth. So it's gonna be slow. We got slow progress, but we need to be making progress.
Yeah.
We need to be turning in the right direction, and I think we can get there. It's gonna take some time, some hard work, but I think we can get there in the city. I want to see it grow because, it's like I said, it's one of the biggest impediments of having the city grow because we get a lot of folks, of every denomination, black, white, green, whoever. They come into the city, they live here, some folks decide they want to have kids or they have kids and they look to move outside of the city. Our city can't grow if every 5-10 years, when folks are having kids, they start moving out the city because they have, because of the school system. So we want our city to grow. It has to be collaborative with, our school board.
Because like growing up, like you said, I was in Harrisburg School District. I always wanted to go be a cougar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
if you
growing
grew up
up,
in Harrisburg,
growing up in Harrisburg, that's what you wanted to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Mom Deuce wasn't having it.
Yeah.
So we definitely got to find something.
Yeah.
Do something. Something has to change. I'm gonna jump down to the question. A little different. Damn, I can't even talk.
Get it out, Junior. I'm gonna let you do this on your own.
Why?
Cause you by yourself on this one.
You
want some help?
Yeah, help me.
I'm gonna read your question for you.
Right.
Little gentrifications in Harrisburg hurt or hinder the Uptown Courthouse.
Okay, so we're talking gentrification.
You're welcome.
I was was on Instagram today and saw a little bit of Jay-Z at Webster Hall in that performance, and one of the things he was talking about after in his dedication to Nipsey was about you gentrifying your own neighborhood, gentrifying your own community. We have a lot of vacant homes in Harrisburg in communities that people live in. You go uptown, go on the hill, like you could be living at 1821 Market and 1823 is vacant, and nobody's doing anything with it. It's being sold at a tax sale. So some outside person buys the house for a couple $1,000s, doesn't have any plans for it, and lets it continue to go into a state of disrepair. We need more folks in our communities to be owners, not renters. You buy your home, you build some equity. You can, potentially look at purchasing another property. Like I said, there's a lot of folks that want to be involved in real estate to be, landlords. But let's gentrify our own neighborhoods. Let's grow our neighborhoods, so that we can benefit from the growth that's occurring. I mean, what's going on 6th Street right now with the courthouse, and then we have a state archives building. So there's going to be a lot of development in the city over here in the next, 5-10 years.
Right.
If we're not owning those properties, what's going to happen to the people that are renting?
Getting kicked out.
The landlord's going to raise the rent on you, and make it unaffordable for you to live there. So you got to go somewhere else.
Yep.
So gentrification doesn't always have to be a negative thing. People are in the business of trying to make money.
Right.
But I think if we can invest in our neighborhoods and grow them, then we'll be better off.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Think about it. For everybody that's black on a block owns their house, that's a black neighborhood now.
So that's what it was, right? I mean, if you look around, like I grew up on Market Street, but before that we were on Swaterra Street. Folks, I drive down 18th, 19th Swaterra now. You have a lot of folks that are renting, or even you have, your mom or your grandma might have had a house in the city. They got a little older, and they look to sell. But who does it end up getting sold to? Is it getting sold to another person that wants to, be involved in that neighborhood, in that community, or is it getting sold to someone that is looking to invest in the property and make a profit from it? And that's where you start to see neighborhoods change, and that's what happens. I mean, it's no longer, those 4 or 5 families that lived on that block. Somebody bought that property, they split it into 2 or 3 units. So now a block that had 10 homes, that had 10 families, that same block has 10 homes, but might have 20 families, and it just changes that neighborhood.
Just broke it down, yeah.
So, like I said, it's about ownership,
right,
and investing in your neighborhoods.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Word
sir.
right there.
Alpha, was you about to add something? I hear you over there making noises.
No, I'm just listening.
Damn.
I'm sitting here.
Don't bother nobody.
I'm sorry, my bad.
I got the
That's my
earphones
fault.
on, man.
My
I'm just
bad.
listening.
My fault. How does our vote matter?
Okay, now, so your vote absolutely matters in everything. I mean, you look at, like I said, I like to focus right now on the elections that we're in now. So these are local elections. You're looking at your school board, in the city council, county commissioners. If you're outside the city, you're looking at township supervisors, or we're actually looking at the DA too, so the district attorney. Okay. So these people have a direct effect on things that happen in your neighborhood. These elections are popular votes, so it's not like the presidential where
the circus.
Where hey, the state, every state is allocated a certain amount of votes, and if whoever wins that state gets all those votes. At these local levels, it is person with the most votes wins.
Yes.
For city council, there's three seats, so you can vote for 3 people.
And that's for citywide.
So city council is citywide. We don't have districts in Harrisburg, so everyone is considered at large. So if you live within the confines, Harrisburg proper, you have a right to vote for up to 3 candidates to city council.
Okay.
Yeah, but these people, like I said, they affect your everyday life. We're talking about, trash collection, street sweeping, making sure our roads are safe, making sure, police, public safety, all those different things. So, like I said, local elections definitely matter. Yeah.
Definitely. Why West Majors for city council?
Okay, all right, no, no, not at all.
To me, I'm back.
Not at all. I have dedicated my life since I came back from college to working to be in the city, live the city, and improve the city of Harrisburg. Back in 2010, I served on the Harrisburg Authority, where we had to deal with the $1 billion debt crisis and looking to investigate it so we can, figure out how to move the city forward. These past 4 years on council, I have supported. I said we supported the decriminalization. Well, not decriminalization, but making a summary offense for small amounts of marijuana. We have increased our. So we've increased.
It's important.
Yeah, that's just about making sure folks don't go to jail for something and
have the county, bro.
Aren't able to get jobs. So this is to me. It's just about making sure that
the county's horrible.
That folks have an opportunity to get jobs and not have a small offense jeopardize their career. So we also strengthen our fines and penalties for folks that illegally dump in our city. If properties are blighted and there's trash on the street, it gives a negative perception to folks, when they're coming in. So we want to make sure that our streets are clean. Yeah. We also want to make sure that there's public safety. So we supported ensuring that we have more community police. We put a police substation over on. We're finishing up a police substation up on 15th and Dairy, so that neighborhoods are closer to the police, and the police are closer to the neighborhoods, so that if and when events do occur, that that they can respond in a quick way. That's it. Yeah. No. I'm about moving our city forward, and like I said, I'm a lifelong resident of the city of Harrisburg. I might have
got a lot up on your belt, man.
Huh?
You got a lot up on your belt.
No, but it's
listen.
But it's about improving our community. Like I said, my mother lives here. My wife is not from Harrisburg, and I'm trying to make her stay. So if I want our city to improve, if we want our city to improve, we need folks that are going to be dedicated to the improvement, work hard to ensure that everybody's voice in the city of Harrisburg is heard.
You sure you ain't trying to run for mayor, man?
Listen,
no, sir.
man, he
no,
was
sir.
born for this.
I am a member of city council. I'm running for re-election to city council. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm not thinking about anything else. It is about, for me, it's about making sure the voice of all of our residents are heard, but especially the folks that that are from here, and I want them to be able to take advantage of a lot of the opportunities that are coming.
You have to look at sincerity on your face.
He was born for this. He was born for this. Ben Franklin did.
I go to every corner of Harrisburg. I feel just as comfortable talking to folks at in Midtown at Shady's or at Note Bistro on 2nd Street. Just as comfortable as I do talking to my folks over at the district, or every once in a while you popping into other little place, or up at Cidra's or Cabana or wherever. Listen, it's just about I don't want anybody to feel like their voice can't be heard. I want to see our codes improve. I want quality, affordable housing for folks. I've been dealing with trying to help a couple people out with some landlord tenant issues. Bro, our landlords. Not all.
You almost got me convinced. I'm gonna vote for you.
Some landlords don't take care of their properties, and they need to be cited for that, because there are people that are living in horrible conditions in the city of Harrisburg. People talk about third world country. I have been in homes.
What?
I have been in homes in Harrisburg that people have holes the size of a football underneath their sink that goes to the outside. That the landlord is just putting a piece of plastic on or a board. There are people in our city that, because of some agreements, may not have water running or electric. There are things happening in the city of Harrisburg that are affecting people, and a lot of those people don't feel heard. I want to make sure that they feel heard in the city. And they have an advocate and a voice in me. And I don't. Like I said, I'm not doing this for anything else but improving people's lives. That's it. I don't want the accolades. I don't.
Yes, sir. So
at that time, I'd have been felt by then. It wouldn't have been heard about nothing at that point. You gotta feel me now. Know where I'm coming from.
But you gotta do it in the right way, and that's the balance that I have. I try to go about things through the proper channels. If I can't handle it through the proper channel, then I'm gonna elevate it, and I'm gonna keep elevating it, and then you got to figure out exactly how to make sure things get done. Because I just want to see everybody have opportunities. We got a lot of things coming in Harrisburg, and I want to make sure that folks have opportunities for workforce development, so they get trained. We need more people in the construction trades. Like I said, there's so that federal courthouse is a couple $100 million. State Archives building is going to be $200 million. Harrisburg University is looking to do a new project downtown. That's a $123 million project. But they need laborers, and they need folks that can, do construction, carpenters, builders, plumbers, pipe fitters, welders. So we need to, make sure people know that these jobs are out there and available.
Get in that field.
Like
Fuck
it's
my job.
it's real. It's real. Like there's a lot of opportunities.
don't fuck my job.
No, don't say that. Yeah, don't say that. But no, there's a lot of opportunities that are coming.
It's time.
There's a lot of opportunities coming, and people just need to be tapped into them.
Oh man, yeah, we listen, we running out of time because we definitely Lakatora.
Appreciate
you know
you,
what I mean? We
brother.
definitely got to
Thank
get
you
out
so
of here.
much.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we definitely appreciate you, Wes. Any shout outs real quick?
From you, brother.
Oh, from me, first got to shout out my wife.
Yes,
Clarissa Freeman, Esquire.
Right. Ooh, Esquire.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, she's my better half.
That's a big
absolutely.
deal.
My better.
Yeah.
Tips are different.
Yeah, she,
Different.
everything, my mom, my brothers, and just everybody in Harrisburg. Like, I want to thank La Couture for allowing us to host this event here.
Yeah, appreciate it.
The folks that came out, y'all didn't have to come out. I
dope.
sincerely appreciate it.
For sure.
Anybody that gets a chance to view this, make sure that you exercise your rights in the city of Harrisburg to vote. There's an election coming up on May 21st.
21st.
There are
May
6 candidates
21st.
on city council for 3 seats. I'm an incumbent. I'm looking to stay on city council and keep things moving. So if you go into that ballot box, vote number 5, Majors for Harrisburg. Number 5. Yeah, I'm number 5 on the ballot.
Okay.
But like I say, you can pick up the 3 people. I just hope that they consider me as one of those people to continue to move Harrisburg in a positive.
Got my vote today, man.
You was destined for this, dog.
Yes, sir.
It feel like it.
Definitely.
Yeah, you persuaded me a little bit.
Yeah,
All right,
man. They
Alf, stop.
real dudes, man.
You better get out there and vote. Make sure you voting, Alf. All right, no.
Huh?
We ain't talking
I
about.
also.
I'm a vet, man. I'm a vote.
Oh yeah.
I'm a
Hey,
vote.
well, thank
I'm
you for
going
your
to vote.
service. Absolutely.
Welcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Definitely
and,
gonna vote.
And I also got to shout out, my barber for helping me, make sure I keep my hairline, D-Cobb, no, but that's been my man. Like I said, a lot of folks, in Harrisburg know him like Cobb is
17th
Cobb.
there? 17th to Market?
So he was at 17th and Market. Now he just opened up a shop,
Out in Pembroke.
Yeah, out in Pembroke. He left the city, but said folks from the city still go there. But he's a good dude.
I'm going there.
I said,
I'll take a detour to go to my man.
I remember getting cuts at his pop's crib in the basement when we was when he was like 16. So that's been my guy for a minute.
Listen,
man. He's
dog.
a good
That was a
dude.
plug, yo.
He's a good
clean-
dude. He's a good dude.
It's
Yo.
always a plug.
That was a plug.
Nah, he's a
You
good
don't listen
dude.
cut.
But now there's a lot of folks that are out here doing positive things in Harrisburg.
Right.
And I just want to shout all of them out. Keep being positive.
Yeah.
Keep the listen, if you can make it in Harrisburg, we can make it.
I heard
everywhere. We
that.
got a lot of
Fact. Hey, that's a fact.
No, it's real.
That's Key's.
It's
That's
real.
Key's favorite.
That's
That's
Key's
Key's
line right
favorite.
there.
line.
If you're from Harrisburg, sometimes folks don't want to see other people, doing well, but we need everybody to do well in their own lane.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Like I
right.
said, we can all grow together. I don't want to step in your lane, Snub. I don't want to step in your lane, Toronto. Like, I don't want to step in nobody's lane. But if there's something we can collaborate and do together, let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's
Yeah,
all
right.
let's all
do it.
Collaborate, not
improve and
clash.
prosper.
Listen, I'm with
Not
it.
clash.
Why not?
Let's all improve and prosper, man.
Yeah.
That's what we needed. That's what we need in the city.
I was just about to shout y'all out, but you keep dropping stuff and making noise. Shout out Brazy. Shout out everybody that had something to do with this event. Lakatora, of course.
Lakatura.
Wait, I got a
Lisa
list.
Irvis, yeah,
Shout out Blaine. Blaine, you
Shout
in
out
there? Say Al.
Blizzard.
Al, she in there. She said something.
Yeah.
Thank you,
shout
Blizzard.
Out, shout out MLE, Alpha, of course, Snub, GFB. We know how we do it. Everybody that came through, we definitely appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all showing
Make sure
the
y'all
love.
exercise your right to vote.
Yeah.
Oh, we caught some more people that was just
What's
walking.
up, y'all?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's what's
come
love,
on.
bro.
Like I
Appreciate
said,
y'all for
come
coming
and
out.
exercise your right to vote.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all vote on May 21st. Make sure you
May
do it.
21st.
Make sure you do it.
Till then, GFB, yeah, we holla at y'all,
here.
bro.